All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Descart Gaming. I joined the game here, turn 44, sim off about 2 turns ago, I think. No big battles yet. This is a 3 versus 3, so I'm gonna go over kind of the layout, the tactics that I'm seeing. Um, so when I'm not playing the game, I can kind of focus more on commentating what I'm seeing from each team and player. And I know people kind of like the more in-depth kind of knowledge that's going on in Gladius. So now this is uh, not a tournament game, but these are, I think pretty much all the players in here know how to play PvP. So it's going to boil down to positioning, alpha strikes, counterattacks, your economy, getting a higher tech unit. All these things are going to factor in to give one team an advantage. But let's talk about the teams, talk about the factions, and talk about what I predict. So that this Rhino is kind of a scout. I mean, that's Chaos mono vehicle build. So if we click on, like, you can see how it fogs a war for us. So when you click on a team's unit, the enemy team is like, you only see within the fog. But we have in the North team, we've got Admech, which is played by, I think, Spooky. And then we've got the beige player, Ventox, and then we've got the green player, Shrike, my friend Shrike, playing Tau. In the South team, we've got Sushi playing Chaos. We've got Astreth playing Tyranids. And then we've got Space Marine playing, I think Spooky's Space Marine and Coliseum. The colors are so close. Coliseum is Admech. I apologize. Correct that. Anyways, so no huge big engagements. We just saw a scout, a Rhino scout, to see if that Admech player was guarded up in the base area, which he is. Now, he didn't commit into that scout. He did, I guess, poke. It's called a poke. You delete a unit. Now, there could be a counter attack play here, or a counter/alpha attack maybe by that mech player, or he could go for his own poke to try to take out a unit. And poking just means that you're not fully committing your full force into the danger zone, right? Imagine like North Korea and South Korea, and you have that line there, and you don't want to put too many units across that line because there's more things that can hit them and all that. So sometimes players like players pushing into their defensive line, and maybe they don't get a good damage out of it because they have a good defensive line. And then if that works for the defensive player, they then get a turn and do a really strong counterattack. But it's an advantage of the defensive player at their base. They have base defenses. They have closer reinforcements. They have cities. So it's going to be hard for Chaos. He has to really, I don't, anything can happen, but a very low percentage to push into Admech's base and actually kill it just because of the things I explained there. So usually what you want to do is maybe go for map control, try to secure a relic. I'm trying to see, so there's a relic over here. So why that's a good idea? Because the relics will boost your economy, and it's usually relics aren't like in a base spot usually. And you can fight equal footing out in the open per se, so no one's getting quicker reinforcements or defensive city buffs. But sometimes terrain has a factor and all that. So right now we see Thentux, the base player, Dark Elder. He's got the combo set up with Homunculus, so the racks are going to synergize with Homunculus and give them vulnerabilities. So if you look at this this Lance Spear with Melted Weapon, and you see doesn't do a whole lot of damage, right? Even Chaos, because he's chaining these feel no pain buffs, and if they're level 3 or higher, this one's not level 3, so it takes more damage, but they get like a Master of Pain buff from leveling. So Dark Elder is all about trying to level up. They get a lot more stronger when they level up. They get like buffs and boons. It's kind of like Chaos, but Chaos is a little bit different. They get marks, and yeah, when they destroy stuff, they can level up. So the Tau player has got a lot of firepower. A lot of you got the Sky Rays in the back to kind of focus in, and got the Firewire screening. Lots of drones out here. Now but that's a big Tau army. So you got the North team Deathball together, in conjunction with Space Marine, but not fully Deathball with any teammates. So you got partial stuff here, but nothing exciting. So it would literally be a 2 versus 1 if Space Marine pushed into that, which would be disaster. And that's why scouting, scanning, and stuff like that helps. They have they see a bunch of hammerheads. They don't see anything. Well, they know that the racks and stuff are over here because they were like having a Mexican standoff a couple turns ago, so they know what's over here. He has more information here. Looks like he's going to try to fight off to get this relic here. Pretty good move because land speeders are very mobile, and I mean Tau is also pretty mobile too, but especially with these Sky Rays. But the hammerheads can't quite get there. You can see the ranges, the move is a little bit, but yeah. So I assume that the thing is, so here's the weakness I would say of the Dark Elder player. He doesn't have transports, and these are just move 3. So it is a very strong like a wall of flesh basically, but they're going to be waddling like 3 movements. So the SM player with land spears can easily go circles around them, but Tau could chase, but then it's a 1v1 Tau versus SM, or a 1.3 because he's got a few Chaos buddies with him. So that's the down. So that would be a good thing to use your mobility against a very slow Dark Elder kind of meat shield build. So Tyranids is kind of just death bowling up in the center area, and then you got Chaos here. So Mexican standoff at the base between Chaos base and AdMech base, and Tyranid is kind of in no man's land. Like, I guess he just wants to hold on to the loyalty relic. And we look into the economies, research, who has the highest, who's going for the super high research. So I mean 40 is respectable. Yeah, at turn 37. So nobody's really gone super greed with the science. Definitely not Dark Elder. He's got like the lowest. Okay, so pretty much this is a even Steven science game from pretty much all the players except for Dark Elder. And I assume it's because Dark Elder maybe invested in Homunculus, I guess, or maybe just had a really bad start. But yeah, pretty low research. All right, so we're getting some kind of sneaky movements here with the Forge Fiends on the left flank. But again, I think you really need like either get like so Chaos does have a small advantage when they get a death ball of Forge Fiends, but he doesn't quite have that death ball of Forge Fiends. So we got a pink captain here, which is pretty bad because now these waddling guys can catch up to the captain, and they have no transports, and he doesn't have a teleport key. That's always clutch. Also, I like to put that on captains because sometimes they can get pinned, surrounded, and they are tanky, but if a whole army surrounds them, then lights out to the captain. Tau has enough firepower, but not. He's in the ruins there, so I don't think they can kill the captain. So it looks like Tau does not wants to maybe retake that relic, I can imagine. But yeah, if you're, I guess, new to Gladius, or you're seeing this kind of just recently, very fun game if you like 4X turn-based games. And this is by far the best multiplayer 4X turn-based game that I know of. But it does require like a very high skill set. Like there's a lot to learn in the game, like building your economy, how to move your troops around, the matchups, how to trade effectively. And that comes with a lot of playing and you know, asking players and looking at guides and stuff like that. That helps too. But yeah, my channel does have a masterclass guide for 5 factions, and you can watch those. That goes very in depth for the entire faction, what they're good at, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses, and the roster, and a couple popular builds in PvP, and my kind of spin on it. But yeah, check that out. So sometimes Gladius could be very back and forth. Sometimes it could be one-sided. You know, if a player makes a really bad blunder, especially with army sizes this big, it could be devastating. But like the smart players, like I said, you want to use your scouting. Your chaff units are good cannon folder. You really got to get the good intel to know, is this, you know, position weak? Can I hit it? And then really, the big thing that happens in this game is there's a morale tug of war, and you want to be able to break or shake and break your opponent, because when you do that, they do less damage to you and you do more damage to them. So that's kind of the name of the game, and that's what's really cool about this game compared to other games. Like, you have a lot of different things going in this game. Range, move, melee, special abilities, heroes, lots of stuff. And every faction plays very uniquely, and they have strengths and weaknesses. So it's definitely a really like fun game. And I mean, like I said, there's really no other 4X game out there that plays this well in multiplayer, in my opinion. And it's sad though, because I feel like this game could be a lot more popular. It's just I don't know if the 4X is as popular than the real-time strategy is. I think the real-time strategy is a lot more popular, but Warhammer's really cool. I love the universe. So he's positioning more for like a counterattack. You got more kind of cannon folder troops in the front to eat the majority of the damage, and then your MVP units back enough to launch the counterattack. The problem, I mean, once Dark Elder catches up, then it's a 2 versus 1, and you know, if the skill sets are very equal, 2 versus 1 is always going to favor obviously the team with the 2 players on the versus the 1 player. So Tyranids looks to be maybe moving slowly to the left. I don't know if they want to link up with Chaos and maybe try to push that mech base. So 2 versus 1 at a base, I would say, is not automatic win for 2 versus 1, but like it definitely increases the balance of defending at the base, and definitely I would say maybe more advantage for the 2 versus 1 at a base, but still the 1 player at his base is very strong. It's all going to boil down to how well they communicate and do that. But it looks like Chaos is getting cold feet and is kind of falling back to his little hexagon forest area. But yeah, I like when I do commentaries, especially if it's casual, I like to kind of come in at this stage of the game where nothing real big has happened. I mean, we could look at some of the builds here. So we got 3 barracks going for lictors. Okay, so that's kind of unusual. No high tyrant, so the lictors are going to be a little bit slow. High tyrant would give them buff. So so we got like a kind of a later game crane SM, so lower production, but once builds up, this scales pretty good late game with the crane as long as it keeps the towers up. Chaos, how many armories are we looking? Do we have a sexy amount of armories? So 4, would probably like to see 5, but the eco is a little bit, the ore is suffering here. Needs a lot better ore, so he doesn't have that volcanic. Well, he did have an ore thing here, but okay. Let's take AdMech. How many? So we're just taking a look at the production here. So we got a good sexy 4 there, producing breachers. So breachers are very good, high damage, single unit entities. So perfect for this. So yeah, AdMech player has the advantage. He has the correct unit counter for chaos. Then we've got Tyranid has a very weird. I think he's gone with Tyranid warriors, which is, I don't know. I think they're a little bit like damage is not there. Did go, so you went for a John Wick Prime, but it's not, that's like, okay, fairly, it's a lot better once he gets to level 6, because then he has the armor break for level 6. So captain's just getting pinned every turn, and he's got to get to this trader. If he gets to the trader, he can get out teleport icon, but it's not looking good because the meat wall from Dark Elder is waddling closer to the captain. With when you're pinned, you have like 1 movement with the captain. So and SM is like, he cannot do this. Like, look how juicy this death ball is of Dark Elder and Tau. It's huge. I mean, SM will just get raped. But it looks like SM is on his own. That's not good. Like, he's got to figure out a way to save that captain, though. So this is weird. He's got an MOP over here, but he doesn't have a lot of chaos units to buff it. Like, he has like, so that's kind of weird too. Ooh. So here's the thing. He sees the base here. Does he go for this base? I mean, he's got quite, oh, he can't get all the land speeders on that, but he could. Yeah, he's not quite in position to go for the nuke, but he if he has scan, he could see that there's nothing there. But you know, Shrike has, like, I mean, the Sky Race could get there, but that's the only thing that could get there this turn. Looks like he's chickening out, but that was, like, if he has land speeders a little bit more in this area here, he could nuke that. But I don't think he picked up scan, because I don't hear scan, but that is an automatic pick for me with SM. I don't care what build I go, unless I got a lot of scout bikes. So we're gonna see a Castellan rollback go down here, or at least get trapped. And this is more of a scout to see what's on the horizon, and don't see anything dangerous, so he's going to smack the Rangers. And now losing the robot is like, this is probably a free robot, so it's not like it's giving, like, this robot's actually, like, look at all this, like, what's in the fog war. So it's giving him intel, although it's kind of an expensive free intel, but it's good intel. But I'm gonna take a small break. I will just let the game go in autopilot. All right, we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have a disconnect from Astrath. So we didn't lose too much. The captain is constantly being pinned every turn. And the Dark Elder is waddling close to the captain. So I assume Spooky, the SM player, will not want to lose his tower here, Fortress of Redemption. But I don't think he has a choice. I mean, unless Tyranid like walks over here, takes the flank here. But this army from Tyranid, I'm not really feeling it. Like yeah, so when you get near the homunculus, these Tyranid warriors do not do. They do decent because this guy's not by the homunculus or the Chronos. Oh. Oh wow. We have a get out of the base move here, and so that's interesting. So he took some morale damage here, so I'm assuming he lost a unit. I missed that. But yeah, it does not look good for Chaos, actually. Chaos does not have that many troops, and AdMech has a lot. Like, look at all these breachers. They're everywhere. Backed up with the Marshal with the wing. So the Veluchu's wing is very good in this type of support hero because his abilities are free actions, and he also gives a buff, I think, increased damage of allied. Yep, so when he's in the radius 3, they do more damage from Serval Skull uplink. 17 plus more damage. But you can just see how much damage these things do, right? And they're 3 upkeep food, and this is 4 upkeep, so yeah. I don't know what Astra's doing though. Like, so he's kind of in no man's land. He's not engaged with anybody. He has, you know, he definitely needs to come over here and kind of stop this siege that's going to be happening. But Tyranid warriors only have 3 movement, and they don't move through cover. So he's going to be waddling over to the left side probably. And then, you know, this just seems like a really good army composition. Dark Elder meat wall with Tau vehicles, and also a lot of fire warriors too. So they're definitely going to capture this relic. That's going to go. But I would say it looks like the northern team has the advantage. They're better positioned at this time and moment. But anything can happen, right? It looks good right now, but you know, maybe a player makes a really bad blunder. I've seen it happen. So we got 7 people watching, so that's pretty good. Again, if you are just seeing kind of Gladius, this is a 4x turn-based game, but it's multiplayer. It's 3 players versus 3 players. And we got all different type of factions. We got the north side of 3 players versus the south side of 3 players. Right now, we've got kind of AdMech coming out of their base and approaching Chaos base aggressively. You got the southern Tyranid player kind of in no man's land around the relic. But then you've got Dark Elder with Tau kind of pushing on the north right side. Gonna probably retake the relic and is pinning down the captain, slowly gaining, but the captain is waddling ever so slightly back to the tower of power. That's what they say. But we're seeing lictors being made. I do like lictors. They have to be fully upgraded. Yeah, they one-shot the breachers. They have ignore Overwatch. But the problem is they really need the High Tyrant. Because getting that boosted 3 movement just makes them so more flexible. Alright, so we're seeing a winged Marshal come up, giving a damage buff here, and he's already used his aggressive override, but he does have that servo skull giving, and he'll level up too if they can kill something here. Yeah, so they're probably gonna kill 1 or 2 or maybe 3 chaos vehicles here, and then we got the Moculus facing off. Oh no, this is the Succubus. Oh wow. Right, so Succubus is a melee specialist hero. Now, if you look, she's not super... Yeah, that captain's dead, guys. It's gonna get targeted, and then the Sky Rays can come in and do Hail Marys from missiles. But look at that damage from the Succubi. Like, drug, it's level 4. So yeah, that's one-shotted now. So that captain is pretty huge because that's her engine for farming influence. Also a tank zoner, and that goes down with a whole bunch of items and everything. And now here comes the racks to just protect the succubus. I can't even talk. So that's, again, Chaos is faltering. I don't see Chaos, like, they got hardly no army left, and AdMech just has a smother of units. So this is gonna, almost 90% sure this is gonna be GG, just based on what I'm seeing right now. I assume that SM might just try a counterattack, but I don't think they're gonna kill some stuff. But then everything, like, there's, like I said, it's a 2 versus 1 here. Even the stuff that they kill, they'll just counterattack and kill all the land speeders because there's just way too many units. And then again, Tyranids in no man's land doing nothing. And I'm not blaming Astra, the Tyranid player, but his build is very I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like Tyranid warriors, hive guards. Good defensive units, maybe if you're getting rushed, but like being aggressive with these units, they're not very great at doing that. The movement and not moving through cover really sucks. And that's what you really need with Tyranids. You need the fast mobile, be able to flank, get into those weak areas. But that's, the Succubus really shut down that itemized John Wick captain, you know. All right, so we're seeing Prime come in, just smacks the sniper. Now the breachers don't do good damage versus Prime. So this guy is like, yeah, because he's got the adapted. So he took Overwatch Fire, I guess, and then he has the Feel No Pain now. The first shot is full damage, but so this is where somehow he had a teleport icon. Oh, even the Succubus. Oh, because the Lightning Gauntlet finished. Oh, that's a perfect. When you think about it, you just want the Succubus to take out heroes, right? And then so you put a Lightning Gauntlet because you're only going to use it, generally speaking, against a hero. So that's really cool because that's only 60 influence. Yeah, that does mega damage. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of push here now. SM wants to get some revenge. So going for this kind of left flank area. 1 minute 25 seconds. Not a lot of time to. We get an orbital strike coming down from SM. They take down a Scourge, trying to take out Scourge number 2. Second Scourge goes down, and the Scourges are definitely the biggest threat here against the land speeders. So he can get one more Scourge if he moves up. Yeah, that, and then Chaos Spawn kills. But I don't know. He's got 2 Chaos Spawns that he has 48 seconds. He's got to tell his ally to use those Chaos Spawns, which he's probably doing right now in the chat. So we got so this Prime is really probably gonna shut down this siege push. So here I'm saying the game's over, and the Tyranid player is kind of helping that. Now I still think all these land spears are probably gonna get blown up by the Tau player in the back line maybe, but that terrain could slow down, yeah, all these vehicles actually. So identifying where the vehicles were and then going for that mobility on the left flank and also hitting all those Scourges, that was really nice. So we'll see how the northern team is going to respond to this, but they did take out the captain, which I think was a money play. Admech is sort of bunched up here at Chaos's base, getting now double teamed or getting helped, assisted by Astrath, the Tyranid player. Alright, seeing Regskin in position. You get a little slap on the cheek there. Kronos boosting up their invol. So Succubus is shaken right now. So doing a little less damage. Some 17% less damage. We get targeted here. We're gonna see some maybe M grenades. Right, we're seeing some action over here. Boom! Just yeah. So this. Oh, and he overrided and he enriched round. So level 6 Marshal, no joke. And he's really going to town here. But Tyranid seems to be, their units actually seem to be a good matchup against the Breachers though, but not for Chaos. Okay, we see a big slap here from the Sculpted Hammerhead, and no imp grenades, but ooh, Forest is in the way. The Racks can clear Forest, but that one's used its ability. They really want to delete models because these can always like go back and get healed maybe, or go into a base hex to heal slowly. And so Admech wants to stay and fight this. Has a good. Okay, there that goes. That creates an opening. Are we gonna see? Scourge shoots it. Another one low. Okay, downtown Hammerhead for the second kill. So 2 land speeders dead. But they still did more. SM and Chaos still killed quite a bit. We got a very aggressive Hammerhead here. on this side, going for a Muller Fiend. So we got Sky Ray coming in. No missiles left on it. We got a Land Spear out here, so that's going to just get taken care of by that gunship there. And so that's 3 Land Speeders down. So, like I said, I think they killed maybe 3 or 4 units, the SM and Chaos player, and then they lost 3 Land Speeders. So, yeah, the trade is still going heavily favored for the northern team, especially losing that captain. Chaos MOP is going to have to be careful. Really needs to get out of there. There's no more Chaos stuff except a broken Muller Fiend. Alright, so... Alright, so... We're going to get a targeted breacher here, but there's an engineer to heal it if they don't kill it. You get another Chaos Spawn just whacking... forgot what thing died there, but it was a Dark Held there. Okay, another... Yeah, these Chaos Spawns are doing nice work. Very good 6 movement. Very... Like, you can't underestimate 6 movement. That is just really good. But they are random, though. You can get different random blessings every turn. This one gives Grasping... Pseudopods, increased melee attacks, which is good for aggressive stuff. Okay. We are going to continue to see Asteros Tyranids try to save Chaos here. Chaos literally has 2 units left in the base. And I think the economy... Alright, going for a Hammerhead here. Gets it. The SM players got to get these... tanks lower. I always say the more tanks alive, the more potential for a death ball to happen. Now we're gonna buffed up Muller Fiend, trying to smack that gunship. He's gonna have to send a Land Speeder here to finish it off. Question is, can he jink it and finish it off? I think he can. Might want to try to do that. Boom, Prime gets into the back line, just smacks our Ranger in the face. We get another focus fire here. Another Hammerhead comes down, but these Land Speeders are way out in the front line now. But we have Tyranid that has 47 seconds, so Tyranid really has to get going here. In PvP multiplayer, you're limited to the clock, so it looks like he's not even going to move his units over in this other side, which is pretty crucial. You got 30 seconds. Got another Land Speeder retreating back to heal. 25 seconds. Okay, he's moving troops around. He wants to focus on these guys. Alright, so that breacher... Okay, he's going to spawn a baby Termagant here to finish that 12 seconds. And he doesn't get it because the Overwatch on that Vanguard. Over here, he's trying his best to kind of 4 seconds. Is he gonna get it? Oh, he just got at the buzzer, Michael Jordan. But the Land Speeders are all the way at the front. I'm not, but you know, the racks don't do that much damage. He needs the Scourges. The Scourges are out, but we do have the Tau player with some very, like 3 Sky Rays in the back, 4 Sky Rays with their missiles all. They just need to get into position here. We got Kronos coming in. We got a level 6 Homunculus. That's pretty scary too. He can do some big ability too. Lowers morale lost as well. So those Chaos Spawns go down. Puts a gate up. Maybe that. Okay, now we're going for a base snipe. But the Warp Smith is there. So I don't think the base snipe is happening, and you've got a Royal Rumble happening just outside the base with Tyranids here against AdMech. We got a teleport Chrono come here, maybe. Oh, Maculus came back, wants to help in this fight here. Very interesting. Tau needs to get the morale back a little bit on a lot of its stuff. I think we're gonna see some focus firing on these ships. We get the Muller Fiend get nuked, and the morale comes screaming back to the Tau player. We got a targeted land speeder that's set for death. Missiles gonna be hitting it. Admech trying to exterminate the Tyranids here. Prime is like, they're just, no, we can't deal with Prime. So they're just gonna try to focus on the army. We got healing of 16 on that, but it's already more than half. Oh my gosh, huge damage. Oh wow, he almost had the base there. So that's not looking good. That's his main production base. Warpsmith can heal a lot, but not that much damage. I didn't realize how much damage they do to the base there. Another land speeder gone. So again, the tides of really more than team here. It looks like Admech is prevailing against even Tyranids out there, and the Skyrays are cleaning up all these land speeders. And there's not much more army left, so then the towers are going to be acceptable to Dark Elder and Tau to knock off, and then maybe defense at SM base. And Tyranid is slowly building these lictors, but there's no tunnels. We don't have tunnels. Blasphemy has entered the lobby here. No tunnels from a Tyranid player. I don't know. I feel like that is just wrong in so many levels, because tunnels are very good. All right, so he's got 3 lictors, but all right, not looking good for the Southern team. And I know I've said that quite a few times this game, but the more information I see here, I mean, Prime is just one unit, right? Yes, he can delete like one unit, but like there's production being done one new unit every turn. So every unit Prime takes out, one just pops up again. All right. So the Turbigon. Oh my gosh. Got a zone here. Oh, mind blasted into oblivion. Warriors smacking some racks around. We got a broken tank here. Can they get the tank kill? All right, Hammerhead goes down. So the only thing about Skyrays is once their missiles are up, they definitely lose a little bit of power there, but the chaos is faltering, guys. I think that base is gone. Yes, looks like he already attempted to heal. Did he heal the base? I don't think he even healed the base. All right, still hasn't. Okay, there he goes. Got 46 seconds. That's the thing. Chaos is going to lose this base down to 1 base, and this has no production buildings. So, like, you're down to just a Forge Fiend and a Warpsmith. And then, you know, all the northern teams their economies are fine. Got 15 seconds here. Oof, he's so close to. I mean, the base is leveling up, gaining a little bit of HP, but he's okay. So he's broken, but his stuff still does a lot of damage, and he's got enriched rounds with aggression override. So yeah, that base is definitely going down, and the base goes down, the morale will kick up again for Admech. So Skatari Rangers doing some sniping. Homunculus is here to play the Prime. He's looking at Homunculus. Are we gonna see a 1v1 battle here with Prime versus Homunculus? Wouldn't that be epic? They both have their sidekicks, Tervagon and a Chrono. Oh man. Okay, so Tau is picking up the pieces here. Oh, we're gonna see a Chaos base go down here. Aggression override. We're getting laureled, so the morale's coming back. And boom, goes down. There goes the base. We got the Chaos Warpsmith here, but the nuclear bombs were used on destroying the sail. Oh, Forge Fiend just got. So that matchup was so bad for Chaos. Like, definitely got to go infantry against Admech, it looks like. All right, so the land speeders have dwindled down to 2 at the middle. So basically, Dark Eldar kind of fell apart, but escaped with his heroes, it looks like. And now it's a little bit of Tyranids, a little bit of SM fighting Tau. Another land speeder goes down. And this is the land Skyray army here. So no more production from Chaos now. So it's literally, you could say a 3 versus 2 right now, which mathematically is very, very hard to win. But if the Southern team can somehow win decisively, either in the Northeast fight or the destruction remains of Chaos's base, which doesn't look like the Tyranid army is outnumbered. The Lictors again are nice, but they're not near where they need. They're not near the battlefield, so no tunnels, no high tyrant. You could pretend they're not even there. So we get a revenge blast from Mr. Warpsmith here, and man. They might be talking about GG in here because literally the time is ticking and I don't see any type of action being played here. But if it does end here, that was a pretty good game. Scouting Termagant. There's not much units left here. Oh wow, he's got the additional bolters for the towers. Nice. Level 7 Prime. Wow. Oof, gets sniped. Oh man. Overwatched. Oh, we got the succubus coming in. Ready to duel the Prime. Oh my gosh. Epic. The melee specialist. She is ready to lure the Prime. Are the leader of the witch cults and master combatants of the arena, possessing both sublime and bloody artistry. They are versed in countless forms of death and give visceral displays of acrobatic lethality. Alright, Tao's kind of regrouping. I guess because Tao has used up a lot, almost all their missiles from Sky Rays. So they need to reload, refuel, wait for those cooldowns to come off. We're seeing another captain being built. Just don't know. I mean, these lictors would have been huge if there was a tunnel up here. And then just to remind people, like, a lot of times, right, if you're playing the game, you don't have, like, so me as a spectator, we see everything, right? We see how many units each team has, and but when you're playing the game, you get a lot of fog of war. So sometimes you might think, oh, they probably have some reinforcements over here, or so a lot of times it's not as clear as day when you're actually playing the game, and that's where scouting and figuring out army strength is important. But AdMech did what their mission was, Operation Destroy Chaos Base, and they did it. So they could fall back, regroup, build up, get stronger units. Because at this point, Chaos is not producing, right? And then you have two other teammates that can start making more units and then, you know, push a different part, possibly. But yeah, Chaos is not going to be any help right now. And Astrath looks pretty disheartened. He named his prime too many counters. But yeah, that succubus is very, very lethal. Can the lictors be the magic ingredient? Must suck to be the chaos player because literally you can't produce anything. All you got are these like heroes. I mean, another thing is, you know, the Dark Elder player can teleport to whatever position that they need help in, and exactly what he did with Admech here. Oh, I guess he's afraid getting stunned or something. All right, so now we're seeing a switch into air. That's going to take a little bit of time to get going. Incubi just one taps. So, while the excitement has died down, now we play the Cold War game, picking up the pieces. The Sky Rays are getting locked and loaded. Are we going to see some tower snipes? Sky Rangers say, get out of my house. Oh. But yeah, these Venom Thorps are... Oof. Big shot on the Tyranid Warriors. So he's decided to pull back, wait for these reinforcements to hit the Lectors. Pretty good idea because there's just too much stuff here. But... And Tao's army has basically been the biggest Deathball army this game. And with so much range firepower, you know, SM's gonna need a miracle to come back from this. All right, going into the second turn of turn 54. Nothing exciting here. I mean, Southern team needs like a miracle weapon, like, and I don't see it with the research. None of them have like a really sky high research. And the land speeders have been taken out of commission. He's only got a few. And just look at all those sky rays. All right, so I'm going to take a little break here because there's been a pause and there's no action going on. So we'll just let the game kind of go here. All right, so we're back in the thick of things here. Tau playing very cautiously. And yeah. Kind of like the Cold War happening again. But these two land speeders look like they're in trouble. This one's hiding. That one's like hugging the cliffside. Ooh, that one missiles aren't ready. That guy's missiles are ready, so yep. Goes in unjinked. Okay. Eliminated. Gonna be down to three land speeders next turn. Against this huge Tau death ball. No reinforcements coming to help SM. I might just call it here, guys. Chaos can't produce units. SM down to like 3 speeders next turn. Towers are either gonna die or he's just gonna go right for the base, but probably go for the towers. I kind of want to see the lictors in action here, but without a high tyrant, 4 movement, I don't know. Let's look at the graph here. So AdMech and Tyranid, the best economies. Best militaries gonna be the northern team. But actually Astrath has the best military. Research, Shrike, and Astrath. So Coliseum did a lot of damage as AdMech. Damage taken. Chaos player 913. Okay. I don't know. Do you guys want me to finish casting this or should we just wrap this up? Almost 95% sure Northern teams won. Chaos can't produce anything. I mean, Astrath is playing okay. Space Marine, like all Tau has to do, not that Tau knows this, all he has to do is go right for the base, is dead. But probably he'll go for the towers as the safer option. So incubi are game produced. Where are they? Teleported down here maybe? No. I mean the difference is, I mean, Dark Elder has very strong heroes. You have very low army size too, but they have their production buildings intact to make more. But it looks like Coliseum has to sleep. So I doubt this game They might just call it like by the timer basically. But realistically, at this point in the game, based on what I see, like Tao is like so in the driver's seat here, and Chaos again can't produce anything. So literally, the only valid player right now, basically, is Tyrannid. But Tyrannid, like, he's not going to be able to handle 3 players. And we are seeing a push on SM. And we have Skyrays ready to lock and load. So yeah, so I'm gonna just call it. So I'm gonna give a victory to the northern team, and it was a pretty good game. But yeah, this is just like if there was a slight chance of the southern team come back, I would definitely continue casting this. But this is pretty much it. Tao's gonna push in, destroy SM. Chaos has no production, no army, and the only person that can kind of do battle right now is Tyrannid, but Tyrannid does not have tunnels, and Tyrannid's like can't even push this, so it's more of just waiting. All right, so that's gonna end it, guys. I will see you next time.